Hi, everybody, and welcome to the February 6th edition of your Wisdom Wednesdays. I am Patrina Wisdom, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. It's February. It's the month of love, and I am so excited because I actually know that one of my core values, one of my core strengths, and just kind of who I am and what I represent and what I exude is love. And so this is my month. Just call me Cupid. Anyways, this month, in recognition of Valentine's Day and love, we're going to be talking about awakening the power of unconditional love. So for those of you who aren't already subscribed to my Wisdom Wednesday or have visited my website, I want to invite you to do that, patrinawisdom.com. And if you go up in the top right-hand corner, you can subscribe to all my updates, including this Wisdom Wednesday, which would be delivered to you weekly in your inbox. I would love to connect with you that way. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter under the name Patrina Wisdom. Go figure. Anyways, today we're talking about awakening the power of unconditional love. And the first point for today is commit to love. Love is the most powerful frequency that one can function in. Negativity, struggle, and anger cannot survive in the frequency of love. So if you noticed any situation that you've been in where someone is angry with you or they're feelings of jealousy or, just being combative towards you, if you approach that situation with love, it'll almost always dissolve or work itself out somehow. And so I believe that if you commit to love, commit to loving those who don't love you back, commit to loving yourself in all situations, commit to loving your family members that may or may not be treating you the way that you want them to. Just committing to being, giving, and receiving love at all times, no matter what the situation. And somehow, like I said, things just seem to work themselves out. And if nothing else, you feel, it's not even that you feel, it's that you epitomize what love is really supposed to be in its purest form. And your frequency, your energetic frequency rises so high that you become a shining light to other people. So again, I want to encourage you to explore committing to love. Point 2 today is know your emotional style. Are you an intellectual? I am very guilty of being an intellectual, a problem solver. I hear something and rather than immediately empathizing, my mind starts to go towards the solutions for the problems. And that's great in the aspect of a coach, but sometimes in my relationships that gets me in trouble because there are definitely situations where people just want to be heard and they want to know that you heard them and that you understand and that you feel their pain. So as an intellectual, I have the challenge of learning how to be more empathetic and not trying to solve everyone's problems unless they're paying me. You might be an empath, and an empath is someone who feels everything. Their channels are just open, and they feel everything. Usually very sensitive, very in touch with emotion. And those are exactly the people who most need you to just listen and not try to solve their problems. I learned that one the hard way. There's also the gusher. And the gusher is the person who can't control their emotions. They are just, and they just basically, regurgitate on you everything that they're feeling all the time. And sometimes those people can come off even like whiners, right? And that's a gusher. So for them, the challenge is to learn how to be a little bit more self-reliant and to go inward first. And then there's the rock, which I want to say also that sometimes we can be a mixture of these things, because I've definitely got some aspects of a rock. And a rock is someone who is always going to just get the job done. They're the reliable one. They're the one that you can depend on, and usually pretty emotionless, actually. So for me to be kind of a mixture of the rock and the intellectual is not that fantastic for a woman. But I am working on that. That's part of surrender. That's part of strong women like myself who are very self-reliant and almost have to be. It's part of us learning how to function in our feminine energy, in surrender. And you know, since the passing of my husband and being on my own as a single mom and being an entrepreneur, that is an area that I still am working on. We're all human. We all have room for growth, right? So the third point, oh, actually I didn't finish the second one. It's important to know your emotional style so that you can communicate it to those that you're in relationship with, but also so that you can set necessary boundaries for yourself. And I think the boundaries thing is more for the gusher and for the empath, because they are very sensitive emotionally to the things that are going on around them. So know your intellectual style and set boundaries. And the third point for today, the last point for today, is protect yourself from emotional vampires. You always hear me say, mind your associations. Well, this is one of the reasons why. Emotional vampires literally suck the energy from you, sometimes without even knowing that they're doing it. So identify those people and find ways to either separate yourself, or in the case of family, in the case of family, it's a matter of kindly, lovingly, gently setting boundaries in order to maintain your energy level, your energy frequency, because energy is everything. And if we're not feeling a high frequency of energy, a high frequency of love, a high frequency, not even a frequency, but if we're not feeling like our energy is constantly flowing through us from the floor up to our higher power, our higher source, or downward, depending on which way you want to think about it, then what are we doing? We're stagnant. So we need to keep that energy flowing, and preferably in love, which is one of the highest frequencies that we can function in. So again, this is Valentine's month. This is the month of love. I'm extremely excited to talk about different aspects of love, self-love, loving someone else, how to communicate your love, how to show your love, different ways. Just, you know, a lot of reading, a lot of studying, a lot of listening to webinars this month, and learning. I'm constantly learning. And everything you hear from me, all of the wisdom that you receive from me, is a mixture of life experience, taking workshops, getting personal coaching, involving myself in mastermind programs, attending workshops and lectures. It's the knowledge that I've invested in and have chosen to share in my individual, unique way with you. So I just want to thank you. It is such a pleasure for me every week being here. Oh, and I want to announce that I actually have made this incredible link between success, love, and money. It's just recently in the last week, it's like, aha, I had an aha moment about it. And I'm putting together some really powerful programs that I think you're going to love. It's going to be fantastic information. So if you're struggling, if you're feeling stuck, if you're having financial issues, if you feel like you're doing everything right and still things aren't going the way that you want them to, you need to go to patrinawisdom.com/awakening-success-love-money, patrinawisdom.com/awakening/success/love/money, and register to get updates on these programs as they develop. All right, it's been great spending this Wednesday with you. I look forward to reconvening next Wednesday, and you have a wonderful day. Patrina Wisdom signing off.